In this video, I'm going to be going over 35 new changes you need to know about in Ark Ragnarok Ascended. I'm going to be going over all of the just Ragnarok free stuff, none of the Lost Colony DLC or anything, so this is everything you can get for free in the Ragnarok DLC. First off, we have the brand new bison creature. I'm sure a lot of you probably heard about this, but it wasn't a bunch of creature votes, and it didn't end up winning a lot of them, I think. I think they just added it because it was so popular, but it didn't end up winning. Either way, I'm glad it got added. It's really cool. It can kind of move in small herds like this. I noticed this one where there's all one following a leader, and then they're pretty cool. They're a knockout tame, which, of course, we haven't had a new knockout tame creature in forever. I don't think there's been a new one in like a few years, so kind of nice to see some knockout tames, and it's pretty cool. I think the females and males have like different abilities, and you can harvest milk from the bison, which you can use to raise wyverns, which is going to make raising wyverns so much easier now that you don't have to actually go knock out a wyvern. You can just go tame some bison and then get milk that way. That's definitely how I'm going to be doing it from now on. And at number 2, there's a brand new island right off the coast of the grassland area. They added a massive new island. This is the biggest one they've added. They've added a bunch. Of course, we'll go over all of them. This one's probably my favorite, though. It's really flat, and it's really big, too. It's like basically the same size as the old grassland area, except for it's right next to it, so it's like doubled the size of the grassland area. And then there's a few giant cliffs on the side of it, too. It's a really cool expansion, and they really haven't added any like massive expansions to the maps with the remasters, and I'm glad to say they did this with Ragnarok. And number 3 is a new island right off to the Redwoods, and it's right next to Red Obelisk as well. And this one is a pretty big island as well. It's got a little mountain on it, and it's a really cool little place as well, and it's got some new ruins on it too. It's a really cool looking, just small little island, but I really like these new islands that they're adding to Ragnarok, and I hope they do this with more of the remastered maps, going in and adding more maybe islands or just expansions to the map, because I think it makes it a lot more interesting. And we also have a castle on this island as well. It is a really cool castle. It's kind of more like a fort, I guess. There's a giant bridge going to it, and then you could honestly probably build a base in here, and it would be a really cool spot to build a base, honestly. It's pretty dope. And at number 5, we have another new island. This one's right off of the swamp area, and it's another pretty big island, and it's got some like cool waterfalls on it. It's just a really nice looking island, honestly. And once again, very glad they're doing these. There's like a bridge going to it as well. It looks really cool. I really like the look of these new islands. And we also have a new castle in the swamps. It was an area that in Ark Survival Evolved, there's pretty much nothing there, but now there's this really cool castle. I noticed that there's poison wyverns that'll spawn. I usually always see the 2 that spawn just above it, and they're flying around there, so you might want to be careful with that. But this castle is really cool as well. Next up is some new rock formations that were added. This area was super barren. There's pretty much nothing here, but now there's these gigantic rocks coming out of the ocean, and I think it looks pretty cool, but it's not really too much to it. Next up at number 8 is this ruins here. I'm not really sure what people call it, but this one, it went down, and then there was that little cave that would go out to the water, but now it's been replaced with this tower. It's the same tower in the grasslands, and then there's a little area that'll let you go down, and then this is what it looked like down where the caves were. As you could see the structure kind of coming down, and then now it kind of looks like this, and the staircase is up against the wall. Also, there's like this blue tint. I think that's because I turned the fog off and it did that, and I didn't realize until after I recorded this, so it's going to be kind of hard to see on Ark Survival Ascended. But you now actually can kind of like go down the stairs, and I think this would be a really cool base spot. It was already a pretty cool base spot, but on Ark Survival Evolved, the stairs were kind of taking up a huge portion of it, but now I think there's a lot more room if you would actually want to like build in here. And number 9 is the Labyrinth Cave has been overhauled. This cave has brought me nothing but pain, but for some reason, or actually now they made it to where it's open. I actually do like that you can see it now instead of it just being kind of hidden, and it's got this really cool entrance as well. I really like it. And then I think they've changed like completely the labyrinth, and it's still, I think it's going to be even harder now is what people are saying. This first room I noticed was different. This is the only one I really checked out, but people are saying that they have changed a lot about it. They've added a lot more traps. I think there's even some like Easter eggs in here too, so that'll be definitely fun to explore this new version of the Labyrinth Cave. And at number 10 is there's new caves around the map. There's a bunch of them. I've heard a lot of people saying they found a bunch. This is one I found in the volcano, like really right next to where the lava is. It's a brand new area. On Ark Survival Evolved, it looked like there was a cave before there, but it was patched up. But now you can actually go inside this one. This is the one I found, of course, and of course there's a ton around the map, so you'll probably end up running into a bunch because I think they've added a decent amount of some new caves. And number 11 is there's some new underwater ruins. These ones are really cool. It's just like a giant area, kind of like a mini Atlantis looking place. I really like this ruin, even though I probably won't be going there too much. Of course, I don't really go underwater that much, but it's still cool that it's here. At number 12, there's a new boss on Ragnarok, which is the like ice wyvern boss. I'm super excited about this because I thought they would, or I was hoping they would do it on the center, and they didn't end up doing it. So I really didn't think they were going to add new bosses to custom maps, but I guess they decided to do it on Ragnarok, and it's awesome because before it was just the dragon and the manticore. They have like a frozen dragon and manticore as kind of like a tribute to the old one, I guess, or Easter egg. I like that they did that. And then also what I like at number 13 is if you die during the boss fight, the entire map will get covered in snow, which is a really cool detail. I kind of wish they would do that more on maps, like I guess maybe have like seasons or something where the weather would change. I think that would be really cool, but you can do it when you lose to the boss, which kind of makes me want to like lose to the boss on purpose on a playthrough just so I can, you know, get this snow here, because it looks really cool having the entire map covered in snow. Like, I don't think they've really done that since like the Winter Wonderland events back in like 2016 or 2015 when they covered the island in snow, but so seeing this is just really dope. And number 14 is griffins are now breedable. This is such an awesome change. They also have genders now. I'm pretty sure they didn't have genders in Ark Survival Evolved, but now they do, and now you can breed them, which is awesome because now you're going to be able to get even better stats on them. You're going to be able to get mutations, so griffins are going to be even better than they already were, and they already were just really good. So this is an awesome change, and I'm so glad they made them breedable. They've been doing that with a lot of creatures, been making them breedable, and I really like that. And number 15 is there's new ice wyvern spawns, and I'm super glad about this, mainly because of the nests. The nests now spawn on like high peaks instead of like the forests. And I found this one in like 3 minutes, and I was actually looking for it, because usually when you're actually looking for it, you just can't find it. But I was able to find this one super quick while I was looking for it. So the fact you can actually find ice wyvern eggs consistently now is great, because on Ark Survival Evolved, it would take days just to stumble upon one egg, and ice wyverns were super rare on Ragnarok. And then of course once Volguero came out and there was an ice wyvern trench, there was no point of getting ice wyverns on Ragnarok. So I'm glad they're easy to find now. And now we also have 2 new islands as well. These ones are desert islands off the coast of the desert, and these ones are pretty cool, and then they even have a new cave in them as well. And at number 17 is now there's Karkanos spawns on Ragnarok. This is an awesome change too, having Karkanos on here. I think it's one of the only aberration. There's a few aberration creatures, but of course this is one of them, the Karkanos. This one's going to be super useful. You find them in that cave in the desert islands that I just showed off, which are like to the northeast side of the map, so it's a good place to find them. And at number 18 is they've added these polymer plants from aberration. You just can harvest them and you get organic polymer. They're found in that cave where the Karkanos are at, but you can also find them at a bunch of other spots as well, including the Wyvern Cave. So this is going to be super useful. I was using a dire bear and I was getting tons of polymer from these things, so it's going to be a great way of harvesting that. At number 19 is in this cave. Of course, this cave was here in ASE, but now it's like the Hall of Fame, I guess. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's got a bunch of names of, I'm guessing, like YouTubers and stuff like that. They put my name on here, which I'm very happy about, because I'm in the best map of Ragnarok, but they got a bunch of names in here. Like, there's a ton, so if you make any kind of Ark content, I'd recommend coming in here and looking, because your name might also be in here, because there's a ton of them. But there's my name there at the right. Number 20 is you can find featherlights and shinehorns. You can find them in that same cave I just showed off, and it's pretty cool. You can get the light pets. I think it's only shinehorns and featherlights. I know I've seen people talk about shinehorns. I haven't seen anything about the bulldogs and glowtails being in here, but I know those 2 that I just named off are definitely in here. And number 21 is you can also get aberrant creatures. There's not a ton of them, but you can find the aberrant megalanias, which are found in the Wyvern Cave as well. And then you can find aberrant dodos, which are in that like Hall of Fame area that I just showed as well, right next to the featherlights and the shinehorns. And number 22 is the Wyvern Cave has been revamped a bunch. It was really small and tight before, and you basically only came in here to get wyvern eggs. But now it's a lot bigger, as you can see if you come in here. It's pretty massive, and it kind of looks more like an aberration spot, honestly. It's really cool though. I really do like the changes to it. This is also where you can find aberrant megalania in here. You can get those polymer plants I was talking about, so you can harvest polymer in here. Might not be the safest place to do that, but you still can if you want to, I guess. And number 23 is there's also loot crates in this cave now, which is also another big reason to come in here. You can find red crates. Of course, the only one I found was yellow, but I've seen a bunch of people saying they found a bunch of red crates. So this would be a good spot to get some loot in here too, I think. And number 24 is the artifact of the strong is now in the Wyvern Cave as well. Another reason to come in here. It's in these ruins, and then you can kind of just find it to the right here. It's honestly not too hard to get once you get past the wyverns, of course, but it's like not much cave you have to go through. And they've also removed the artifact of the brute. I think they just removed it from the map entirely. You don't even need it anymore. It was in this like redwoods cave I'm showing off now, but it's not anymore, so you don't have to worry about getting that one. And next up is the crop fields have been kind of nerfed a little bit. There's not nearly as much carrots and other stuff as there. I'm gonna look through here, and it's mainly just like regular plants. As you can see, there's kind of a lot of foliage covering it, which I don't remember it being like that. I thought there was just carrots and stuff there. But you can find a bunch of carrots around the grassland area, especially around that new island. You can find a bunch of rock carrots and other plants too. So you kind of have to fly around more to actually get those out in the wild, which I kind of liked having the crop fields and like building bases there and stuff, but not as effective. Number 27 is the volcano eruption. It did erupt in ASE, but now it goes dormant. Before there was always lava there, but it can go dormant, and then the lava will start flowing again, and it will go all the way down the volcano, and then it will start erupting. And I've also seen that look, wherever the meteor, I guess they're not meteors, the crater things hit the ground, you can go and open those up, and you can get resources from them too, so that's pretty cool. And there's also sandstorms now in Ragnarok. They didn't have sandstorms in ASE, and they're just like the sandstorms from the Scorched Earth Ascended, where they kind of like come in, and it looks really cool. I don't have a video of it. I sat here for like 30 minutes with the time sped up, and I couldn't get it to come in, but it's in the trailer. You can see it. It's just I wasn't able to get footage of it, so you're just gonna have to use your imagination here. And next up is kind of a small change, but they made water visibility a lot better. Now, of course, if you turn fog off, you can pretty much see through the entire water, but if you don't have that setting off, you can still see like pretty well now without having to do that, because before you basically could barely see at all, but now you can actually have some pretty good visibility underwater on Rag. And then at number 30 is there's new clouds. These look phenomenal compared to what there was before in Ark Survival Ascended. So as you can see, these ones look really nice, and they're actually like above the sky limit, I think. I don't know if you can really fly in these ones, unlike the other clouds on Ark Survival Ascended. I'll show some of those now before, like the island. They just kind of look like gross, I don't know. And then you could fly through them, which meant that you were always just having to fly in them, and you couldn't see anything because it was insanely foggy. Like as soon as you go in the cloud, you're just blind, which of course makes sense, but it's kind of annoying more than anything. And the clouds were all over the place, and it didn't even really look that good. So I kind of hope they revert this change from Ragnarok to the other maps, because I'm not really a big fan of the whole clouds. I usually just have them turned off, which I don't really like doing, because then the sky is just completely clear and you can't see any clouds at all. And I really like the way they look on Ragnarok. So, and number 31 is the Carnivorous Cave has been changed. It's the cave by the old castle, and there's a bunch of different entrances to it. It's a really big cave, and it's now got a lot of more, like, it kind of looks like it's from Aberration as well. It's got all those like really cool glowing mushrooms all over the place. You can also find polymer plants in here that we were talking about, so you can get some polymer in here as well, I think. And overall, it just looks a lot cooler than it did, because before it basically had like no foliage or none of these things at all, these mushrooms, so it's like pitch black in here, and it's a lot better now. Number 32 is the Iceworm Queen has been changed. Also want to mention the arena looks phenomenal. Now you can actually see in here now, which is awesome too, but now when the Iceworm Queen dies, instead of the loot being on her, it's on the loot crates. Same with how they've been doing all the bosses on Ark Ascended, and I'm glad they made this change for the cave bosses as well, because it's just going to be a lot easier to try and get the loot. But like I was saying earlier, this cave looks amazing. This has got to be like one of the best transformations, because before it was like super hard to see in here, and there wasn't much color or anything, but now it's way better. And number 33 is I'm going to go over the new creatures that are on Ragnarok. And by new, I mean that ones that weren't in Ark Survival Evolved, that are now in Ark Survival Ascended, and weren't on the original Ragnarok. Like the Ceratosaurus from the Ark Editions is now here, as well as the Dinotherium as well. I've also heard that you can find the Archelon on here, even though I think it's really rare. There's also the Dinosuchus as well, which you can find in the swamp area. Glad to see this one's on here too. I've also seen a Phasolosuchus, but in the desert biome, which is dope. You can find these Factinus as well. I'm sure everyone's going to be extremely happy that this Factinus is on here. And then you can find the cats, and they are pretty rare, but you can find a ton of them in the castle swamp area, that new swamp castle. If you ever want to tame a cat, just go straight here and you'll find some. There's tons of them that spawn here for some reason, so it's a good spot to find them. And then there's the DLC creatures as well on here. Pretty sure people aren't going to be happy about these, but whatever, they're on here, like the Pyromane. There's that new Drakeling thing that's on here, and then the Veil Worm, I think this one new one's called, from the Lost Colony one. You can also find it in the snow biomes on here as well. And number 34 is they have small grass now. Pretty much every other Ark Survival Ascended map, like grass was super tall, and I know a lot of people hated it, and they would use that command to just get rid of it entirely, but now it's all small in Ragnarok, so you don't have to worry about not being able to see in front of your face because the grass is so tall. They've changed that for this map, and I think that's a good idea. And number 35 is one that actually goes across all the maps, I think, but Silica Pearls now actually shine like they used to in Ark Survival Evolved. I don't know why they made it to where they didn't do that at the start, but they reverted that change, and I'm so glad they did, because now you're actually going to be able to see them instead of like having to squint your eyes and look around for hidden silica pearls everywhere. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. I know I'm a bit late with this video. My internet was down when Ragnarok came out, so I wasn't able to make videos on it or anything. I also haven't made a video in like 2 months, but you know, hopefully they change that. Hopefully going to start uploading again, but you know, like I said, this video is going to be a bit late anyway. But if you guys did enjoy, thanks for watching, and bye.